Good afternoon, everyone. We are from Group 5. Today, we are going to present Foundations of Planning. Hi, everyone. I am Ki Jiaqi, moderator of the day. Before we start, let me introduce our members. They are Claudia Ng Chia Fei, Ko Jia Yi, Li Lei Wen, and also Oyu Ling. Now, let's start the first question. Why are formal plans generated? Managers generate formal plans for at least 4 reasons. First, planning establishes coordinated effort. It gives directions to managers and non-managerial employees. When all organizational members understand where the organization is going and what they must contribute to reach the goals, they can begin to coordinate their activities, thus fostering teamwork and cooperation. Second, planning reduces uncertainty by forcing managers to look ahead, anticipate change, consider the impact of change, and develop appropriate responses. It also clarifies the consequences of the actions managers might take in response to change. Planning, then, is precisely what managers need in a changing environment. Third, planning reduces overlapping and wasteful activities. Coordinating efforts and responsibilities before the fact is likely to uncover waste and redundancy. Furthermore, when means and ends are clear, inefficiencies become obvious. Finally, planning establishes the goals or standards that facilitate control. If organizational members aren't sure what they are working towards, how can they assess whether they have achieved it? When managers plan, they develop goals and plans. When they control, they see whether the plans have been carried out and the goals met. If significant deviations are identified, corrective actions can be taken. Without planning, there are no goals against which to measure or evaluate work effort. For the second question, discuss why planning is beneficial. As we know, planning and organizing are two key functions of our job. The better organized you are, the more efficient and successful you will be. Firstly, effective planning allows you to achieve important goals and get the results you need. The planning process provides the information top management needs to make effective decisions about how to allocate the resources in a way that will enable the organization to reach its objective. Next, planning also prepares you to deal more effectively with challenges and change. In a changing environment, productivity can be maximized and resources are not wasted on projects with little chance of success. Thirdly, planning helps with stress. You will virtually always get a better final result when planning ahead because planning reduces anxiety of unknown. Taking the time to plan intentionally finally gives your brain more time to think and make well-informed decisions. It is considered to be the most predominant function of the management. It is highly essential for the purpose of progressive goal ahead in order to achieve the goals. That's all for question 2. Now, I will pass the floor to our second presenter. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Yu Ling. Let's look at question 3. Describe in detail the 6-step strategic management process. Step 1. Identifying the organization's current mission, goals, and strategies. Every organization needs a mission, which is a statement of its purpose. Defining the mission forces managers to identify what it is in business to do. For example, the mission of IKEA is to create a better everyday life for the many people. The mission of Tesla is to accelerate the world transition to sustainable energy. These statements provide clues to what these organizations see as their purpose. It is also important for managers to identify current goals and strategies so that the managers have a basis for assessing whether they need to be changed or not. Step 2. Doing an external analysis. External analysis enables managers to know about what the competition is doing, what pending legislation might affect the organization, or what the labor supply is like in locations where it operates. In an external analysis, managers should examine all components of the environment, which includes economic, demographic, political or legal, social cultural, technological, and global, to see the trends and changes. Once they have analyzed the environment, managers need to pinpoint opportunities that the organization can exploit and threats that it must counteract or buffer against. Opportunities are positive trends in the external environment. Threats are negative trends. Step 3. Doing an internal analysis. Internal analysis provides important information about an organization's specific resources and capabilities. An organization's resources are its assets that it uses to develop, manufacture, and deliver products to its customers. On the other hand, its capabilities are the skill and abilities needed to do the work activities in its business. The major value-creating capabilities of the organization are known as its core competencies. Both resources and core competencies determine the organization's competitive weapons. After completing an internal analysis, managers should be able to identify organizational strengths and weaknesses. Any activities the organization does well or any unique resources that it has are core strengths. Weaknesses are activities the organization doesn't do well or resources it needs but doesn't possess. Step 4. Formulating strategies. As managers formulate strategies, they should consider the realities of the external environment, their available resources, and capabilities. Managers need to design strategies that will help an organization achieve its goals. Managers typically formulate 3 main types of strategies: corporate, business, and functional. Step 5. Implementing strategies. Once strategies are formulated, they must be implemented. No matter how effectively an organization has planned its strategies, performance will suffer if the strategies are not implemented properly. Step 6. Evaluating results. For examples, how effective have the strategies been at helping the organization reach its goals? What adjustments are necessary? Do assets need to be acquired or sold? Does the organization need to be reorganized? Question 4. How would SWOT analysis strengthen the strategic management process externally and internally? SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And so a SWOT analysis is a technique for assessing these four aspects of your business. Managers need to evaluate both the external and the internal environment to generate a business evaluation that is both valid and reliable. SWOT facilitates this form of an analysis. In an external analysis, managers should examine all components of the environment: economic, demographic, political or legal, social-cultural, technological, and global, to see the trends and changes. Once they have analyzed the environment, managers need to pinpoint opportunities that the organization can exploit and threats that it must buffer against. Opportunities are positive trends in the external environment, whereas threats are negative trends. The internal analysis provides important information about an organization's specific resources and capabilities. An organization's resources are its assets, which includes financial, physical, human, and intangible, that it uses to develop, manufacture, and deliver products to its customers. On the other hand, its capabilities are the skill and abilities needed to do the work activities in its business. The major value-creating capabilities of the organization are known as its core competencies. Both resources and core competencies determine the organization's competitive weapons. After completing an internal analysis, managers should be able to identify organizational strengths and weaknesses. Any activities the organization does well, or any unique resources that it has, are called strengths. Weaknesses are activity the organization doesn't do well or resources it needs but doesn't possess. The combined external and internal analysis are called the SWOT analysis because it is an analysis of the organization's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. After completing the SWOT analysis, managers have a valid and reliable evaluation that makes them ready to formulate appropriate strategies. That is, strategies that exploit an organization's strengths and external opportunities, buffer or protect the organization from external threats, or correct critical weaknesses.
Hi everyone, my name is Claudia Ng. Now I will present question 5. The question is, organizations that fail to plan are planning to fail. Agree or disagree? Explain your position. I definitely agree. Organizations that fail to plan are planning to fail because planning includes defining goals, establishing strategy, and developing plans to coordinate activities. Planning is one of the most important things in the four-function approach, and it defines specific goals that are to be met in a specific time period. If managers fail to plan, a company might not have a clear objective for the firm and might not able to control all the activity in the firm, as planning helps to establish coordinated effort and helps to reduce overlapping and wasteful activities. Question 6 is, managers can't empower all employees. In this context, explain how management by objective is effective. Management by objectives is a comprehensive management system based on measurable and participative set objectives to evaluate employee performance. The comprehensive managerial system that integrates many key managerial activities in a systematic manner and that is consciously directed toward the effective and efficient achievement of organizational and individual objectives. Management by objective have four elements. which are goal specificity, participative decision making, and explicit time period and performance feedback. Goal specificity helps managers to set up objectives and raises employees' desires to accomplish them. In management by objective, participative decision making are not unilaterally set by the boss and assigned to employees, as is characteristic of traditional objective setting. Rather, management by objective replaces these imposed goals with participative determined goals. The manager and employee jointly choose the goals and agree on how they will be achieved. Each objective also has a concise time period in which it is to be completed. Typically, the time period is 3 months, 6 months, or a year. The employees will be driven by the pressure of the limited time they have, which was set by the manager. Performance feedback allow individuals to monitor and correct their own actions. This continuous feedback is supplemented by periodic formal appraisal meetings in which superiors and subordinates can review progress toward goals, which lead to further feedback. Now, I will explain about effectiveness of management by objectives. Management by objectives helps to improve management, which requires managers to think of ways to achieve an assistance required to make objectives realistic. Management by objectives also helps to encourage personal commitment. Managers set goals to improve commitment in work. Management by objectives improves productivity. Management team concentrates on important tasks of reducing costs. Management by objectives give personal satisfaction, rational performance appraisal, and participation in objective setting. Lastly, management by objectives helps to motivate the subordinates, which stimulates employees' motivation.
Hi, my name is Lee Lei-wen. Now, I would like to answer the question 5.7, which is describe how managers can plan in today's dynamic environment. First of all, I would like to explain about what is dynamic environment. Dynamic environment is defined as continually changing or uncertain external environment, which is one of the contingency factors that affect the types of plans managers develop. In short, I would like to say dynamic environment is the environment that is always changing and is unpredictable, that managers should always change their plans and plans flexibly to face the challenge nowadays. So, below are 4 points that managers should take attention when doing planning in today's dynamic environment. In today's changing environment, managers should develop plans that are specific but flexible. Specific here means that these plans need to be specific to the goals needed to be achieved, and they should be clearly defined. However, it should be flexible, which means that it should not be set in stone for the plans to be implemented adequately according to the dynamic situation, which means that managers should always be ready to change their implementation or ways or method to achieve that specific goals. Secondly, managers need to understand that planning is an ongoing process. The plans serve as a map, although destination may change due to the dynamic environment. Thus, they should be ready to change direction when facing obstacles in the process. Also, plans are not documents that are prepared for corporate staff and later forget, but they are guidelines for organizations members to achieve goals, which means that we should always doing planning that is always suitable with the action, but not something that is written on the paper and later forget. Thirdly, managers should continue formal planning in order to see any effect on organizational performance. As with most activities, managers learn to plan, and the quality of the planning improves when they continue to do it from the perspective of the organizational resources and achievable, which means that managers should always planning in order to improve their ways to achieve the goals according to the resources and their rationality. Finally, managers should make the organizational hierarchy flatter to the effectively plan in dynamic environments. A flatter hierarchy means that lower organizational levels have the opportunity to set goals and develop plans, because organization has always little time for goals and plans to flow down from the top. Thus, managers should teach employees how to set goals and to plan, and to trust them to do it. Also, managers should teach employees to analyze situations and to define the scale and scope of a client's problems in order to facilitate planning and develop best solutions, as employees are always on the front line with clients. Thus, lower organization level, which means that the employees can always think of the best solutions and best planning as they always deal with the clients. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I am called Jia. So, I'm going to present about question 8. What types of planning do you do in your personal life? Describe this plan in terms of being A. Strategic or operational, B. Short-term or long-term, C. Specific or directional, and D. Single-use or standing. So, I given this question a situation which is I do planning to get 4 flat in every semester. For A, my answer is operational plans. So it is also referred to as tactical planning. Operation planning is the process of planning strategic goals and also objective to technical goals and objective. It will specify the details of how the overall goals are to be achieved. The following are the features of operational planning. First, objectives need to be clearly defined. Second, achievement of the desired results. Third, the activities are to be performed as decided. Fourth, maintenance of quality standards. And fifth, measuring performance. For example, I need to plan the routine tasks using a high level of details to ensure I can achieve my goal, which is getting 4 flat in every semester. For question B, the answer is short-term plans. Short-term plans are defined as plans with a time frame cover 1 year or less than 1 year. So, short-term plans must always be monitored and updated on time. From this, I would like to explain about long-term plans. Long-term used to mean anything over 7 years. So, we can try to imagine that what you are likely to be doing in 7 years. It seems pretty distant, and we also can understand how difficult it is for managers to plan that far in the future. Thus, long-term plans are now defined as plans with a time frame beyond 3 years. Okay, so for question C, the answer is specific plans. Specific plans are plans that are clearly defined and also leave no room for interpretations. Such plans require specific stated objective and do not contain ambiguity. For example, I want to get 4 flat for this semester. So I might need to establish these specific procedures like how and when I need to study in my plan. For question D, the answer is standing plans. Standing plans are ongoing plans that provide guidance for activities performed repeatedly. So, the following are the advantages of standing plans. First, we don't have to make unique decisions that are already addressed by various organizations' policies. Second, we will save the time because managers know in advance on how to address common situations. For example, if I don't get 4 flat in this semester, I will try to fix my last plan and do it better in the next semester. Lastly, I would like to say that a goal without a plan is just a wish. It is important for a plan to have a goal as well. That's all from us from Group 5. I hope that everyone can understand this chapter well. Thank you.